Alright, Subpart C, Design Requirements 195-100. The subpart describes the minimum requirement of the new pipeline system for constructing the steel pipe, the relocating or replacing the otherwise change the existing system constructing the steel pipe, however, it does not apply with the movement of the line pipe with coverage of 195-424. 195-101, qualifying metallic component of the other pipe, notwithstanding any of the requirements subpart with incorporate the reference addition with the document listed in 195-3, the metallic component of the other pipe manufactured for any other addition, and if the document is qualified use, it can be shown through visual inspection clearly through the component that no defect of the exhibit might compare with the strength of the tightness of the components. The addition of the document under the document component with the manufacturer with equal or more stringent requirement the following as the addition of the document currently previously listed in 195.3 pressure testing materials and pressure of the temperature rating of the 195.102. The design temperature material of the component of the system must be shown for the temperature environmental which components will be for the so that the pipeline may maintain structural integrity. Component of the carbon dioxide pipeline show for the low temperature during the normal operation because the rapid pressure of the reduction during the initial fill will align with the must make the material suitable through low temperatures. 195-104 variation pressure within the pipeline. Two of the more components to be connected to the pipe will operate with the high pressure within another. The system must be designed so that any of the component operating low pressure will not be overstressed. 195-106 the internal design pressure. Internal design pressure for the pipeline is determined in accordance with the following formula. P internal design pressure for the P in PSI of the gauge is equal to 2 times the yield strength of the pounds per square inch determined in accordance with the paragraph dB of the section times the nominal wall thickness of the pipe of the if the unknown determined in accordance with the paragraph of the C of the section and times the divided by D the nominal outside of the diameter of the pipe in inches times E the seam joint factor determined in accordance with the paragraph E of the section times after the design factor of 0.72 except the design factor of 0.6 of the pipe including the rise of the platform located shore on the platform and inland navigable waters. 054 with a pipe that has been subject to the cold expansion to meet the specified minimum yield strength with substantial heated over the welding strength relieving the part of the welding temperature higher than 900 degrees Fahrenheit for any of the period over than 600 degrees Fahrenheit for more than one. Yield strength is to be with the determined internal design pressure. Under the paragraph A with the minimum specified minimum yield strength with the specified minimum yield strength is not known with the yield strength of the design formula is one following the yield strength is determined in performing the tensile strength says of the ANSI API specs 5L incorporate the reference 195.3 with a random select of the specimen with the following number of a test less than 65 of the eighth of an inch nominal outside the diameter 1 tenth of each of the 200 lengths 65 of the eighth of an inch to 12 3/4 of an inch through nominal outside diameter 1 tenth of every 100 lengths larger than 12 3/4 and 34th of an inch the nominal outside 1 tenth every 50 lengths. If there's a yielding tensile rate with 0.85 the yield strength shall take from the 24,000 psi. If the average annual tension ratio of the 0.85 less than the yield strength of the pipe taken lower than following 80% the average yield strength determined with the tensile strength, low yield strength determined with the tensile test. If the pipe with the non-tensile test is provided, paragraph B of the section yield the strength shall be taken to 24 psi. If nominal wall thickness is to be determined internal design pressure under the paragraph A with the section known with the determined the measuring the thickness of each of the pieces of the pipe core points over the ends of the however the pipe is uniform with the grade side of the thickness of the individual length of the 5%. All lengths of whichever the greater need the man measure the thickness of the length that are not measured but must be verify the plan with the gauge the set minimum thickness found with the measurement the nominal wall thickness to be used to the next wall with the thickness of the found a commercial specification that below the average of all the measurements taken to have the over the nominal wall thickness may not be more than 1.14 times 1.14 times the smallest measurement taken on the pipe less than 20 inches the nominal outside the diameter not more than 1.11 times the smallest measurement taken on the pipe with the 20 inches more than nominal outside the diameter. The minimum wall thickness of the pipe with not less than 87.5% of the head with the nominal wall thickness to determine the internal design pressure of the paragraph A of the section. With the anticipated external load, external pressure concurrent with the internal pressure of the domestic concern will correspond with 195, 108, 195, 110. After determination, internal design nominal wall thickness must be increased the necessary for the compensate for these concurrent loads. Pressure. The seam joint factor paragraph A of the section determine the accordance with the following standards incorporated with the reference 195.3. The seam joint with the factor of the pipe is not converted with the paragraph to prove with this administrator 109, 195, 108 external pressure that may be exerted with the pipe must be provided with the design pipeline 195.10 external loads of the earthquake vibration thermal expansion contraction must be provided with the design pipeline system that provides expansion flexibility for 419 of the ANSI B314 followed by the pipe and other component that must be supported by in such a way that support does not cause excessive local stress and design attachment pipe with the edge stress the wall of the pipe must be compensated for. Alright, 195, 170, 111 the factor of the propagate of the carbon dioxide pipeline system must be designed to mitigate the effect of the fracture propagation. 195, 112 the new pipeline itself the pipeline must comply with the following. The pipeline must be made with the steel with the carbon low alloy high strength with the alloy to the type of this with the internal pressure for the external load of the pressure anticipated with the pipeline. So the pipe must be made with the corners with the written pipe and specification. set forth the chemical requirement of the pipe system, aside the seal with the mechanical test of the pipe to provide the pipe suitable to use intended. Each leg of the pipe with the nominal outside of the 4.5 inches more than must be marked on the pipe with the coating with the specification with this when it's made specified minimum yield strength of the grade of the pipe side of the maker. We must be applied with a manner that does not damage the pipe of the pipe coating that must remain visible until the pipe is installed. Use pipe. Then use the pipe installed with the pipeline system must be complied with 195, 112 A and B with the plowing the pipe that must be with the known specification. The seam with the joint factor must be determined according to 195, 106 E with the specified minimum yield strength of the wall thickness of the dome determined in accordance with the paragraph 195, 106 B and C with the appropriate these are not to be there may not be any of the buckle, the cracks, the groove, the grooves, gouges, the dams, or the defects, the sleeve of the maximum depth of the defects per term permitted the specification with the pipe of the manufacturer corroded areas within the remaining wall thickness left of the minimum thickness required with the tolerance for the specification with the pipe of the manufacturer. However, the pipe does not meet the requirements of paragraph B3 of the section may be due to the operating of the pressure produced the common suture over the remaining wall thickness. 195, 116 valves. Each valve installed with the pipeline system must comply with the following. The valve must be designed sound with the engineering design. Material subject to the internal pressure pipeline system included the welded flange and must be compatible with the pipe and the fitting. The valve attached. Each part with the valve will be in contact with the carbon dioxide hydrogen liquid stream that must be made. The materials are compatible with the carbon dioxide. Each has liquid is anticipated with the flow through the pipeline system. Each valve must be with both hydrostatically shelf tested with the hydrostatically seasoned without the leak of this requirement set forth in section 11 ANSI API section 6 spec CD. Incorporate the reference 195.3. Each of the valve other than the check valve that is equipped with the means for the clearly indicated the position of the valve, open, closed, etc. Each valve must be marked with the body with the nameplate with the least following the manufacturer name, the trademark class designation, the maximum work pressure of the weight of the valve is subject. More by the material designation, the end of the connection material, if more of the one type is the nominal valve size. Or 195, 118 fittings, but welded type fitting for the must meet with the parking and preparation of the bursting strength of the requirements of ASME ANSI B69, the MSS SP 75, according to the reference 195.3. There may not be buckle include indents, dents, cracks, the gouge of the other defect of the fitting that might reduce the strength of the fitting. The fitting must be suitable to the intent of the surface of the least of the strong of the pipe with other fittings in the pipeline system which is attached. 192, 195, 120 passes inline inspection super by the paragraph of the MEC with the section each new line pipeline each of the replacement line pipe valve with the fitting of the other line component of the pipeline must be designated constructed and accommodated with the pass line inline inspection tool according to the ASC SP 0102 2010 section 7 incorporated the reference 195.3. The section does not apply with the manifold station piping of the pumping station, the major station pressure reducing station, the pipe associated with the tank farms, the other storage facility, crossover the side of the pipe, then pipe for the instrument with the internal inspection device and non-commercial available offshore pipeline other than the main line intended for the greater nominal diameter of the transport liquid downshore within the facility. Other property administrator under the 199 with the chapter with the particular case of the impractical design constructed and accommodated with the passive and instrumental internal inspection device and operator encountering with the emergency they construct at the time with constraint with the other enforced unforeseen with the construction problems not constructed with the new replacement segment of the pipeline to meet the paragraph A of the section. The operator determined the document with the impracticability of the prohibit the complying with the paragraph A of the section within 30 days to discover the emergency of the construction. Probably the operator with the position with the 199 with the chapter with the approval of the design and construction of the accommodated passage instrument internal inspection device would be impracticable with the position design within 1 year after the date. Over the notice for the denial, the operator modified the segment of the segment industrial internal inspection devices 195, 122 the fabricated connections of each pipeline must be made designed with the additional demanding fabrication branch connection with the reduce the strength of the pipeline system. 195, 124 closures. Each closure installed with the pipeline system must comply with the 2000 ASME boiler pressure vessel code section 8 with the division 1 and incorporated with the reference 195.3 must have the pressure temperature of the rating with the less equal than those of the pipe that enclosed and attached. 195, 126 flange connection with the component with the flange connection must be compatible with each of the other components of the connection. The utility unit must be suitable with the surface of which it is to be used. 128 station piping and piping installed with the station subject to the system pressure must be applicable to the requirements of the subpart 195, 130 fabricated assembly. Each fabricated assembly meet the installed pipeline system must be applicable to the requirements of the subpart 195, 132 design and constructed the above ground breakout tank with each above ground breakout tank must be designed constructed with the same internal pressure to reduce proceed the hazard liquid to store within the here and then the anticipated external loads for above ground tank with the first plate with the surface of October 2nd 2000 compliant with the paragraph A of the section requires only the following the fabricated vertical cylinder closed top the weld steel tank with nominal capacity 90 to 750 barrels within the internal vapor pressure space pressure the approximately atmospheric must be a design constructed in accordance with the ASPI specs 12 incorporated by the reference of the 185.3 low welded to low pressure internal vapor space with an upgrade than 15 psi gauge. The carbon steel tanks have wall shape that will generally generate single vertical axis for the revolution must be designed constructed in accordance with the API standard 620 incorporated reference and see the 195.3 vertical cylinder well to seal with the internal pressure for the tank top of the approximation for atmospheric pressure, internal vapor space pressure not greater than 2.5 psi gauge, no greater than the pressure developed the way of the tank, the roof. The must be designed for the construction and according with the API standard 650, incorporate the reference 195.3. The high pressure for the steel tank, the internal gap of the vapor space with the pressure greater than 15 psi gauge, for the nominal capacity 2,000 gallons. More liquefied petroleum and the gases must be designed with the construction in accordance with the API standard 295.10, incorporate the reference C 195.3 or 195.3 CPM. The leak detection section applied with a hazard liquid pipeline hazard liquid signal favor the gas the liquid on such for each of the new computational pipeline monitoring leak detection system. Each of the replace with the component of the existing computation pipeline monitoring must comply with 142 of the API RP 1130 with incorporated reference 195 of the design with any of the other design criteria of the API RP 1130 the component of the computational pipeline computational pipeline monitoring leak detection system. Subpart D construction.